Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime channel. With the extraordinary display of the formidable power of Gorosei Saturn in One Piece, it becomes evident that there are even more imposing abilities than those previously revealed in the work. And with the introduction of Gear 5 in the narrative, it represents a significant milestone in Luffy's journey. This form promises to provide the protagonist with exceptional abilities. Due to Luffy's divine heritage as the bearer of Nika's power, the god of the sun, it is reasonable to theorize that he can acquire the ability to manipulate magic just like Saturn. In today's video, we will explore the intriguing possibility of Luffy acquiring sun-related abilities inspired by the title granted by the deity Nika, and how he might use these new skills. Before we dive into the video, don't forget to smash that like button, give us a thumbs up to unlock your devil fruit powers, and hit that subscribe button to awaken. Now, let's jump into the video. In Gear 5 state, Luffy displays notable sun-associated abilities, propelled by the awakening of his Gomu Gomu no Mi, formerly known as Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika. In this form, Luffy's elastic body acquires extraordinary freedom and flexibility, enabling him to manipulate not only his own body but also the environment around him in surprising ways, many of which are intrinsically linked to the power of the sun god Nika. A highlighted aspect is Luffy's ability to influence materials and organic beings with rubber-related properties. He can stretch sections of the environment, such as the ground, making them elastic and rubbery to protect himself against powerful attacks. Luffy can confer rubber properties to objects and surfaces around him, allowing him to jump, bounce, and even launch himself from any surface his power affects. This ability extends to intangible elements such as lightning and clouds, showcasing Luffy's ability to control not only tangible objects but also natural phenomena. In addition to being able to use muscle and limb inflation without the need to pump air into his body, significantly increasing his strength and speed, he can expand parts of his body to enormous proportions, allowing him to grab giant objects and opponents, such as Kaido's transformed body, and manipulate them around. Beyond the already mentioned abilities, Luffy's Gear 5 seems to be directly linked to the sun, indicating a deep connection with the sun god Nika. This relationship is manifested not only in Luffy's ability to manipulate physical aspects of the sun, but also in his ability to explore the metaphorical and symbolic properties associated with this deity. An intriguing interpretation of these solar powers that Luffy may possess involves the control of heat and light in extraordinary ways. For example, he could absorb and reflect sunlight, granting him temporary immunity against light and heat-based attacks. Furthermore, he could focus sunlight into intense beams, creating concentrated energy attacks capable of cutting through resilient materials and melting even the most solid obstacles. This suggests that Luffy could turn the power of the sun into a weapon, channeling solar energy to strengthen his attacks and create incredibly powerful offensive strategies. Another intriguing facet of this solar arsenal would be Luffy's ability to create illusions or light projections, similar to how Kizaru can do using his light power. By manipulating the light around him, he could generate holographic images or illusions, confusing and distracting his opponents. These solar powers not only add a fascinating dimension to Luffy's skill set, but also symbolize his journey as a true warrior of liberation. By mastering the power of the sun, Luffy would become an icon of hope, enlightenment, and freedom for those around him, embodying not only physical strength, but also the vitality and unyielding determination symbolized by the sun. These powers would not only expand his capabilities, but also solidify his status as one of the most formidable and inspiring pirates in the One Piece universe. The potentially possessed solar powers by Luffy carry deep metaphorical implications. The sun is often associated with truth, knowledge, and spiritual enlightenment in various cultures. By controlling these solar powers, Luffy would become a symbol of wisdom and clarity, capable of penetrating darkness and understanding profound truths. This not only benefits him in combat, but also empowers him to make wise decisions and guide others with his wisdom, derived from the deity Nika. The solar powers imbued in Luffy during Gear 5 transcend not only his combat abilities, but also deeply enrich the narrative of One Piece. These powers represent not only his physical strength, but also his leadership, vision, and role as a symbol of hope. Luffy's quest to master these solar powers would not only propel him to new heights of power, but also turn him into a source of inspiration for others, lighting the way toward a more promising future future in the world of One Piece. As Luffy refined his solar powers in Gear 5, he would become an unstoppable force and a catalyst for change in the One Piece landscape. These powers, now fully developed, would not only dispel the shadows around him, but also represent the promise of a brighter tomorrow. His ability to create illusions would not only showcase his cunning in battle, but also reveal his capacity to challenge conventional perceptions and expose hidden truths. He would become a leader who not only faced challenges head-on, but also illuminated the minds of those around him, inspiring them to move forward. Luffy's skill to focus solar light into intense energy attacks would not only increase his destructive power, but also highlight his role as an agent of change. This would enable him to confront the Gorosei with a new and impressive capability. Luffy would use his strength not only to protect his friends and defeat enemies, but also to undo injustices and bring light to the world of One Piece. The ability to cut through solid obstacles with beams of light would symbolize his determination to overcome any barrier that stood in his way. The symbolism associated with Luffy's new power to manipulate the sun would be fascinating to witness. This power would not only prove valuable in combat, but also elevate Luffy to a historical figure for his remarkable feat of illuminating the world through this divine power. Nika, the liberating deity, is personified in Luffy, the current bearer of this power, responsible for dispelling darkness and saving everyone from an intense darkness plaguing the world. As the possessor of this power, Luffy becomes the agent of change, responsible for transforming the entire world with his light. In this cosmic context, Luffy emerges as the living embodiment of Nika's legacy, the solar deity representing liberation and spiritual enlightenment. His role as the current bearer of these solar powers transcends mere physical strength, transforming him into a beacon of hope and a guide for an era of renewal. Luffy's impact extends beyond the borders of combat. He becomes the catalyst for a symbolic and practical revolution. His light not only dispels darkness, but also serves as an inspiring force for all who yearn for freedom and justice in the world of One Piece. By taking on the role of an agent of change, Luffy not only faces formidable enemies, but also challenges ingrained systems of oppression and injustice. His mastery of solar powers is not just a display of skill, but a vivid representation of his determination to shape a future where the light of truth and freedom shines intensely. Luffy's journey as the bearer of these solar powers unravels ancient mysteries and reveals an intrinsic connection between his existence and the deity Nika. Each act, each confrontation, is an expression of Luffy's will to overcome challenges that arise in his path, much like the sun that emerges after the darkest night. Luffy's influence as a leader transcends his crew. He becomes a symbol for all islands and territories longing for a new dawn. His light is not just a destructive force against darkness, but also a source of guidance for those seeking the right path amid uncertainties. Luffy's solar powers intertwine with the ideals of freedom, justice, and compassion. He not only could control the sun, but personifies its fiery principles. Each beam of light emanating from him would serve as a reminder of the promise of a world where the chains of oppression are broken, where truth is revealed, and where everyone is free to pursue their own destinies. As Luffy advances, his legacy becomes eternal. His actions resonate through the annals of history, inspiring future generations to defy darkness and embrace the light of hope. The title of Bearer of Solar Powers is not just an extraordinary skill, it is a call for the transformation and redemption of the world of One Piece. Thus, with each step illuminated by his divine light, Luffy continues to forge a path toward a brighter tomorrow, where the hearts of those yearning for freedom are warmed by the flame of revolution, guided by the radiant presence of the true warrior of freedom. That's a wrap for today's content. We hope you enjoyed it and want to share your thoughts on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and catch you in the next video. Take care and stay awesome.